Well, that's certainly a way to start off the stream. Hello everyone, Rain here, and it is currently 3:58 p.m., almost 3:59, on the 7th of March, 2022. We're back with more Final Fantasy Tactics, and resubs from Decade. It's been a weekend for me, and I'm going to be honest, I may have to go back on hiatus after this series is done. I received some very bad news before the stream started that might cause me to have to take some emergency measures, and that would cut massively into my time for streaming. So, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but we'll see. In any case, let's toggle over to the game, shall we? Last time, we recruited Ezel. You know, the guy who makes all the anti-laws. Who doesn't have any abilities relating to anti-laws. He just can put everybody on the field to sleep. And has a ton of magic stats, but doesn't have any offensive magic to take advantage of it. Ezel's a very weird character to play, and use. I've got him kind of set up for physical attacking, but yeah, we'll see how well that actually works. No point screwing around. We are going to go straight for the final boss. Last time we did unlock Ambervale, which is the point of no return in the game. There's like once you step on that tile, you're in the end game proper. So let's head there, shall we? I don't actually know if you have to... Excuse me. I don't actually know if you have to do law cycling for the final boss or not. There's a decent chance you do. Because the game is weird, and even though it's a fight for literally the entire world, they're still going to force you to, you know, obey the law, or whatever. Holy Berserk Katanas, that's not gonna work. Also, the final boss would ignore the law anyways, which is kind of screwy. Alright, let's double check. Ambervale... Broadsword's Copycat I think I can work with. Well, for one last time. Let's see. Oh! Oh wow, they even prompt you to save your game. I don't know why they dragged the camera all the way down here, but they prompt you to save your game before you start this fight. What? Game? Oh. Oh no. I think I just locked us into the final boss permanently. Because if the fight triggers when you try to step off of Ambervale... oh boy. I don't know where my quick save is either. So, story. Babas is lying dead on a corner. Big surprise there. Oh. He's not dead, merely unconscious. Also, Mute's self-insert OC is here again. We're gonna have to gank him for the 5th time, I think. 3rd, 5th, somewhere in that range. Oh, cool! We nullified Ledner's whatchamacallit. We nullified Ledner's Mary Sue powers. So now we can actually kill him. Wow. That's a pretty stacked enemy team just right off the rip. So, let's see what we're up against. Lotus Mace Gaia Gear, so nothing fancy on you. I do know that we need to steal, Ledner's gear, because he has some of the best armor in the game right there. Wait, why am I tagged as having 2 out of 5 units? Do I seriously have to revive? Oh, no. Yep. You have to revive Babas. Oh, the game is going to screw us all the way through this final fight, isn't it? Alright, Ninja doesn't have anything fancy either. And I heavily doubt the Gunner does. Yeah, no. Alright. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna bring Kibbit for this. Damage to animal, broadswords, copycat. Okay. I am going to bring Chaucer for magic DPS. Marcy for disabling. I could bring... Oh, wait, no, I only have one more slot. Wow. Okay, I think I bring Mary for healing. And that's all we have. That's all the units we have space for. Defeat the boss. Smiley face. And watch them walk up slowly and immediately one-shot Marsh. 155, so close enough. I really hope I still have the ring, or the angel ring on Marsh. If I don't, then this is a problem. Okay, 2 misses on Marsh so far. That's not bad. Aim armed. Okay, can't get an aim off on him, so let's disable the ninja then. Mary! Duck back into the corner. Put a protect on Marsh. Actually, no. You, need you to do something else, it looks like. Because it seems that I didn't put the angel ring back on Marsh. That's great. That's grand. Oh, hey, there's a level. Alright, Ledner's up. Let's see how bad this is gonna be. I don't think he'll have the move range to do anything too fancy. Yeah, he's got Abyss, which is damage and poison. 100 damage and poison. And he turned his back on us. He turned his back. Wow! Oh, also, he's only taking 58 damage from a Geomancy boosted Blizzaga. That should tell you how rough this fight's gonna go. Well, there's a level for Chaucer. Okay, and March is already down to half HP because of all of the BS before he gets a turn. And he can only swing for 49 damage. You know what? Sure. And he misses. It's gonna be one of those fights. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have ribbons on Mary, and I should I mean, it sounds about right. I should have ribbons on both of my Viera units. I think I put them... I know I put one on Marcy. I'm not sure about Mary. Uh-oh. Well, that re-raise is about to be... Oh no! Oh no, going for the white mage. Wait. Sleep and Doom. Well, about that. She's immune. What? What? Never mind. Apparently she's not immune. That was tagged as a 0% chance. You want to explain, game? So I do kind of wonder if you get extra dialogue if you wake, or if you revive Babis. I'll have to check that. While I wait, though, and try and get people into position, can I disable Ledner? Nope, 0% chance. Hacking SOB. Alright, disable the assassin. Okay, Mary. Mary does not have half as much range as I needed her to have. Yeah, she can't get a life off on... Wow. She can't get a life spell off on Babis from here. Yeah, no matter where I move her. Alright. Well, slap a heal on Marsh then. Oop. I mean, we're not doing badly for the fact that we're using 4 very basic jobs. Like, I haven't brought a single advanced job into this fight. Uh-oh. Because we have Mary, who's a white mage, we have Chaucer, the black mage, Marcy, the archer, and Marsh, who's a soldier. So, yeah. All those advanced jobs I spent time, you know, farming for, and we aren't packing a single one of them in. I probably should have, now that I think about it. Oop, not there. Yes, just center it on the guy. I swear, Chaucer's dealt the most damage to Ledner out of anybody. Yeah. Oh boy. Bye, Marcy. Ouch. I wasn't expecting the flare, I'm not gonna lie. Also, hey, Keyblade. Alright. So 2 of the major units are disabled, those being the Assassin and Ninja, both of them very strong attackers. The Illusionist is up, but they're just going to plink us for little bits of damage at a time. I mean... if by Jack killing Chaos you mean Marsh killing a book, then yeah, sure. I'm just gonna heal the group here. We'll try and revive Marcy when we can. Uh-oh. Ninja's back in action. That's not good. Are you going to... Okay. I was concerned for a moment that the ninja was going to just walk up and X-Potion Ledner. It was well within the realm of possibility, considering some of the crap this game has pulled. Uh-oh! Oh no, 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 no! Oh, it's only MP damage. We're fine. Never mind. Wow, look at that edgy attack. You know, splitting into 5 billion after images. You know what? Here's my ultimate attack. Bonk. Did you enjoy it? I really hope you enjoyed it, Ledner. Okay, we're fine. Oh, also, Marsh is now stopped. And the assassin's back in action, which could prove very problematic. Oh boy. Sleep and Doom! And it's a 100% chance because Marsh is currently stopped. Though, nope, he's still doomed. Well, this is bad. Oh no. Oh. Are you seriously going to play me like this, game? Are you going to play me like this? The only saving grace is that Marsh has a re-raise. Uh-oh. That was 483 damage listed. If Marsh gets one turn before he dies, well, one turn, he can get in range of Ledner and kill him with a normal attack, and it'd be fine. I don't think that's going to happen, just being realistic. Come on, Marsh. Come on, buddy. Unstop yourself. Oh no. Well, there's the re-raise. Just needs one turn. Come on. Come on, give me my turn. Please? Marsh! Okay. Okay. Go behind Ledner. 51 damage, 83% chance. What? Are you... Are you... I need to explain. I need to explain what just happened there. So, remember how one of the laws is copycat? Remember how the gunner took a normal attack before us? Yeah. So because of that, we just got screwed. Okay, let's try that again. This time with... I don't want to call it feeling, because, I'm not really feeling it. Alright. Yeah, so here's the funny thing. We are now perma-stuck in the fight with the final boss. Well, that's not the fight with the final boss, but we're stuck in this arc. as it were. So, time to make some gear changes, I guess, and try and figure out a way to make this work. Okay, I'm not going to be using Rosaline. Mary needs the ribbon more. Marcy still has hers. Yep. And I think Bella has the third. Because she's a decent enough hybrid unit that I can run her around and make it all work. Yes. Yes, it would be. Is there anything fancy I can do here? Oh. I just noticed that this hat gives me an extra point of move range and some speed. Only 2 speed, though. Oop, not what I wanted to do. Hold on. That's bonus evasion. Yeah, let's switch over to that. Okay. Bone armlets are also evasion, which is why I'm using them. And we have Mug on because that's the last ability March needs to master. There we go. I have the beginnings of a plan. Also, I need to put him back on dash boots. There we go. Marcy... yeah, you're also using dash boots, so you're fine. I think she's probably the best geared out of all of my characters right now. Oh, did we ever master... yep. Mary did master White Mage, so she is able to go to whatever staff we need her to be on. If there is a better staff for magic power, I should probably go to it. Doesn't look like there is. Well, in that case, buffer staff box. And, Chaucer, once again, is already on Geomancy with everything. However... wait, no, I can't move him up. I can't move him to a different, piece of gear there. Alright. Alright. Take 2. What? Okay. So we are not soft locked. They were somewhat smart. Copycat Saber's Hunt. Okay. Time to re-roll these laws in and out of existence. Hunt status color magic, and I have a phone call. Hold on. So that was an update on the bad news I was talking about. And people being stubborn and not taking their health seriously. So, what? What? They force you to save your game? Interesting. I also don't know what the laws are now. Color Magic Steel Missile. You know what? That's fine. Actually, no, it's not fine because I need. I'm a fast forward. It's not fine because I just realized that I still need Disabler, and yeah, I kind of can't do that when Missile is banned because that nullifies just about every character who has the important debuffs. Oh well, I'll just anti-law it. So I hope you enjoy the soothing sounds of fast-forwarded Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Alright, Color Magic Steel Missile. Oh, Great Bow Gun. Okay. We're going to go largely the same group as last time. I'm just going to anti-law everything. However, I think on second thought, I think I'm dropping Chaucer. Bring in Marcy and Breen. Yeah. Go with a ranged physical setup. Alright. And once again, I'm not quick saving. Love how she just walks up and quickly deals half of Marsh's HP in one hit if it lands. Assassins are incredibly squishy, but they're also incredibly dangerous because they have stupidly high physical damage. Earth damage and slow on Marsh. That's not what I wanted to see. Good. Okay, Missile. And now that those two are out of the way, I'm immediately going to move him up, and can I don't think silence is going to work on him. Also, I don't need to move him up at all, really. I can shoot from like 5 miles away. Silence! Yeah, as I expected, he's completely immune to debuffs. Which does make things a little more difficult. Aim Arm the Ninja again. Now, basically follow the script for the last fight, except this time we aren't going to die horrible, painful deaths. Hopefully. Let's see, who is Ledner going to focus as a target? From the looks of it, he's still going after... What? Why didn't he do anything? That's almost more concerning than him actually... Oh, boy. Oh. Okay, I can R5 it. There we go. That'll work. Okay, Auto Life Marsh. I'll get Babbitt on her next turn, provided nobody needs emergency healing. Yeah, the only reason I can think of that Ledner didn't try to use Abyss again is because it counts as color magic. So even though he's, you know, immune to the law for the most part, he's still... his AI still avoids it. The only excuse I have for why he didn't attack that turn. Okay, Marsh, we're gonna put a little bit in an awkward position, but it's fine. Yep, 53 damage. Marsh levels. Let's see, is the Alchemist gonna go for a turn 1 flare? Are they in range for a turn 1 flare? No, thankfully. And of course the illusionist is just gonna plink us for a little bit of damage. No big deal. Yeah, 40 apiece is not as bad as it could have been. Oh, the assassin is back up, though. That's concerning. This may be a one-shot. Nope. Slow, though. Yikes. That's problematic, actually. Alright. So, holy heck, 74 damage with Marcy. That's not bad. Hey, Audubon. Alright, Lender's already almost down. Oh, what the crap. Cool, that's a 215 damage normal attack. That's real nice to see. Well, it's an illusion, Decky. So they're targeting specifically who they want the illusion to target. Also, I can't revive Babis. I don't know why. He's treated as a unit in this fight, but I'm not allowed to revive him. And he takes up a slot on our team, on top of that. Only thing I can think of to do right now. If I can get the slow back off of him. Nope, that did not cancel the slow. You cannot Asuna a slow, which is weird. But hey, fine, sure, whatever. Oh boy. Assassin's back up. I probably should have disabled them, but hey, here we go. Just a casual doink, and down goes Mary. I think history's starting to repeat itself. Let's see if I get lucky or not. Alright, he's kneeling at least. Oh boy, let's see how many of our units get ganked off of this, because our healer's now down. I'm fully expecting. Oh no, nobody dropped from that. Don't mind me, just kinda gonna. Yep. And down you go. You can't get me on a technicality this time, jerk! Oh, cool, he petrified. And shattered. That's concerning. Oh, hey, and Babis is still lying dead on the floor. Yeah, I kind of forgot about him. I mean... mind of a child who based it off of... I imagine... They say Final Fantasy, but I imagine it's based loosely off the original Final Fantasy tactics, like, in-universe as well. It's weird. I'm largely skipping text here, but... I mean, that's... Odamon, that's kind of literally why Ledner was invincible before this point. We had to make a stupid, like, super powerful anti-lock card to nullify his Mary Sue powers. Alright. It's showtime. Yeah, this totally doesn't look like another boss arena. Yeah, monologuing final boss. Nobody cares. And I could wax philosophical on the whole marsh growing and realizing blah 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 escapism bad main themes of the game. Meh. I don't have it in me today, sorry. And we have the magical... Okay, please put your clothes back on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Say hello to the final boss. Yeah, apparently, the final boss summons copies of the Totema we had to fight earlier in the game. See Adremelech? Adremelech here now has 449 HP. Fortunately, we only have to kill Remedy herself. Also, we can't see any of her abilities. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll get into what she actually is in a moment. This is a 3-stage boss fight, I'm reasonably sure. So, once again, we are bringing Breen. You know what? No. No, we aren't. Hold on, where's Breen so I can cancel him? There we go. I know exactly who we're bringing. We started this game with a few units. And I think, even though they're a little underleveled, they can pull this off. Now, admittedly, one member of the original team has been removed. But we have suitable replacements. So for the final boss fight, we will be bringing Mont Blanc, Ibit, Staring, Betty, and because we don't have Spengler anymore, Mary will be taking his place. This is going to be rough, but I want to try it this way first, just to see if we can do it. To win, defeat the boss. Yeah, you're not wrong. I won't deny it is incredibly silly. Also, Nighthawk is only dealing 34 damage. 32. I think we might be in trouble. Alright, staring. Let's see if you got any more in you, buddy. 25. Mary? Mary, come on, you just get auto life on people immediately. This is not going to end well. Just based on how little damage we're already... Are you kidding me right now? Sid, we are literally fighting your wife in a battle bikini. And you're worried about upholding the law. Dude, time and place. Okay, hold on. You know what? I have a card for this. Almighty, nullify all laws. Also, Kivit can't do anything useful this turn anyways, so, yeah, that's great. Alright, Marsh. 60% chance on a speed break. And this is a fight where it might actually come in handy. If he normal attacks... Nope, he's going to cast Demi from right behind the fencer. Why? Oh, hey, it missed. Gondaga. Gundaga's dealing 39 damage. This is not good. It missed. That's even worse. Ha! Reflex! Auto dodge! Gotta love it! Yeah, in phase 1 here, thankfully it looks like she does not have any abilities. Oh. I had debated for a while switching staring back to counter. I think keeping him on reflex was the right move. Alright, buddy. Kevin, you're probably one of our highest damage units. Oh no, he's still only dealing 59. 61, but, you know, not good. I don't think we have the damage to out-sustain this. 25 air render. Come on. Yeah. Feels great. Oh boy, we're so screwed. Mary, what can I even do with you at this point? You know what? Let's slap a protect on the squishy units. Why didn't I move Mary to actually take part in that? That probably would have worked way better. Well, too late for it now. Back her up. Alright, Marsh. Wait. I have a better plan. Staring has combo. This is gonna do jack all for damage. Oh, never mind. 114. I'll take it. Are you kidding me right now? Hey! Hey, Famfrit! You're not the final boss. Stop it. On the note of that, wait. This is risky. This is very risky, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Yeah, my great and mighty 39 damage. If it hits. There we go. Would you stop that? You're not even hurting anybody with it. You're doing a normal attack on a physically strong unit. Okay. Slap her with Nighthawk. And... oh, looks like that isn't a tile. Okay, never mind then. I'm not gonna put her there. Alright, Kibbit. Nice. 62 damage. And move him a little bit out of the way so we don't take more AoEs. Nah, just air render. To be fair, I don't think Staring's using the best knuckles he has access to. Oop, not. Protect. Go. There we go. Because I'm fully expecting some magic damage here soon. Marsh! Yeah! 37 damage to a boss with over 500 HP, I think. I'll move you out of the way. See where Fanfrit goes. Okay, would you stop that? That is just rude. Stop demiing the unit you already demied. It misses anyways. Oh boy. Pretty close. Oh, that's a problem. Bye, Staring. Yeah, she's at 55. She'll be at less than 20 after this hit. Yay, level for Betty. So, hope you guys didn't think it was over. Because, yeah. It's not over. Oh, she makes the Viera death sound. Neat. They nerfed Mary's staff bonk capability. And Mute is still fully in the grips of the dream and the parasite that's taken the form of his mother. But there's enough of him that still does understand the need to wake up and face reality. However, while that majority still wishes for this world to exist, we're stuck here. Desire is the thread that binds this world together. Well, that's interesting. Why? Hey, Mute? Why does your mom now look like a bad Sonic villain? Like that looks like chaos from Sonic. Also, that's Dual Matthias. That's not good. Yeah, that's two Matthias. Also, the final boss is level 36 and has nearly 600 HP. Excuse me? That's your ability? Randomly changes current laws. I don't see that screwing with me at all. And she also has access to Omega, Alpha, which is basically a one-shot as well. She can summon random Totema and deal massive damage to all enemies. We are boned! Alright. I have a plan. I kind of have a plan. It's a JRPG thing. You don't have to understand it. Just smile and nod. Okay, if we can't use color magic, then we're bringing in Dave as our healer. Can't use missiles, so that leaves those out. Rosalina's debuffer, which isn't gonna do much, but hey, it's might help. You know what? Let's bring Dwight as well. Yeah, our core group is not going to work here. Just full disclosure. And on that note, I think I am going to bring Breen and then I'll nullify the missile law. And I am quick saving this one. Yep, Breen immediately gets a turn. I probably shouldn't have run it. I probably shouldn't have taken him this far forward, but hey. Yeah, Breen is dealing 26 damage to the final boss. Also, I just almost had him let fly without, you know, nullifying the law. There we go. Yeah, we don't have the anti-law anymore to nullify the color magic ban, which means we're just kind of boned on that. Can I blind her? At least, maybe? Please? Yeah, no. That's not gonna work. Okay, Republic of Dave. Barrier... We're screwed. I'm just gonna say it plain. We're probably not finishing this fight. I don't think I have a strategy for it with our current law setup. And it's gonna get even worse when she starts changing them around. My plan with Dwight is to have him literally just start jumping. Oh hey, 62 damage. That's actually not bad. A lot more than I was expecting. It missed. Oh boy. Yeah, I know, right? She is literally using every illusionist spell on us at once, I think. Oh, cool. Dave got one shot. About the only thing I can do. And hope this actually blinds the Mattias. Please blind the Mattias. Okay, Mattias is blinded. One of the two. The other one's probably going to immediately walk over and smack Breen. Are you kidding me right now? That's both Dave and Marsh dead. Just already. Okay, we got lucky and that one missed. Funnily enough, I don't actually see a reason to revive. Dave, I need to revive, but not like this. Hold on. Okay. They are immune to Demi, which means the reason I brought Toby is now nullified. Okay, Breen. I know I can't do disable. I need a blind shot on this. No, I need a blind shot on this Totema. There we go. Got it. Okay. Both Mattias are pretty well disabled. I'm going to have Dwight revive Dave. And hope that Remedy doesn't immediately gank him next turn. Which is a possibility. Is she seriously just going to... Oh no, she's law shifting. Laws have changed. What are the laws? Oh, cool. Breen's now useless. And I can only physical attack with Toby and or Marsh. Until the next time she casts that again. There's no way this is going to work. Yep, it missed anyways. Yeah, so, funnily enough, that is a... or going anti-law card is a possibility. Like, there's a law for it. However, it only appears in very special situations. Oh, wait, I can't use anything on Breen. It's weird. You know what? I think I can use... I'm going to break the Totema rules on this fight, if I can. Let's see how much damage this even does. I doubt it's gonna be too much. One damage to the final boss. Oh boy. I'm going to revive Marsh. Oh, why did I... I'm gonna move him, I guess, back a tile. Yeah, if we can get the minions down a little bit, this might be slightly more manageable. Wait, that's a tech. That's a tech, I can't use it. Alright, just stab the other Mattias then. They're pretty physical weak, actually. It's kind of shocking. Also, we still haven't put any more damage on, we haven't put any more damage on that Mattias, or any more damage on the final boss than, that initial hit. Oh boy. This is going to hurt. That was a full team one-shot. Try this again. Yep. Okay, if the laws are going to shift, I'm not even going to care. I have an idea. Well, not really. I don't really have an idea. I am going to bring in Mary. I'm going to bring in Marcy. Well, if I have Marcy, or if I have Mary in, then Dave becomes somewhat useless. There's no way the final boss is not immune to poison. But I do wonder. Alright, take two. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what law cards you use. This opening turn before she uses Law Shift, or when she uses Law Shift, all three laws are back. I am still going to burn the T2 anti-law just so that I can, have Marcy in this opening turn. Also, there's no way, right? Yeah, as I thought. Alright, so where can I put you then? Yeah, 0% chance on disable on those. However, 40%. You can blind the final boss. You can blind the final boss. Okay, it's a 40% chance, but I'm gonna gamble it. That will... if I can land that, that will almost completely nullify the danger. That's a discovery. Is Color Magic banned right now? I don't remember. I think it is. Yes, it is. Alright, move Bella up and have her wait. Same deal for Mary. Alright, turn 1 on Remedy. Let's see how bad the damage is. Alright, this will be about half of everybody's health. Well, everybody it hits, that is. This... Yeesh. That was a bit much. Oh no, that one has a map-wide target as well? Are you kidding me? Well, there's 2 units gone. Boy, it sure would have been great to get that turn 1 blind. Oh. And there goes somebody, probably Bella. I think Marcy has the... Oh. It double missed. Okay, I'm anticipating them using Law Shift next turn, so I am going to Phoenix down on... Mary. Nice luck, Decky says, as if the rest of my luck with this fight wasn't complete crap. I can't even get Toby anywhere useful. Bella, try for the poison again. But wait, I can't use poison until after this thing Law Shifts. I keep forgetting. I'll go up and stab her. I'm sure that'll end well. Yeah. I'm so screwed. Alright, blackout. Please. 50-50. Come on. That means it would be a 60% chance from behind. Yes! Okay, we got the blind. We have the blind on the final boss. I'm going to X-Potion Marsh just to give him a little bit of a buffer. It's probably not going to do enough, but it'll hopefully keep him alive for one more hit. Law Shift? No! Casting Alpha on Toby. And somehow hitting through a blind and 20% chance. Real nice. Really showing some favoritism there, game. Okay, Marcy has Lightning Null, which means she's basically safe. As long as this idiot doesn't Starcross, we're fine. And they're gonna Starcross, so that's a dead Marcy. Marsh? Like, this is all you got, buddy. Yeah. God, we're so screwed. Please Law Shift, Miss Queen Lady. Please Law Shift so I can actually use more proper abilities here. Let's get Dwight back in the mix. Yeah, Mary has enough HP that she should be fine for another area wide, but if the Matthias decides to gank her, there's realistically nothing we can do about it. You know, I have a plan. Your soul is not really mine. This isn't doing terribly much. There's a little bit of health back on him, though. And he leveled off of it. Alright, Remedy, please, go use Law Shift. Go, no. That's not it. That's randomly punching everybody in existence with magic again. Oh. I don't know how many people are surviving this. Full miss! Okay, okay. We're not safe, but that was... Oh no, they're gonna Starcross again. Yep. This is gonna hurt everybody. Mary should be fine for a hit. 44, 39, 36. Yeah, she's kneeling, but she's still good. Let's see if this Mattias decides to walk up and smack her. Are you kidding me? Well, at least we know both are on both star crosses are on quote unquote cooldown now. Yeah, that's a dead Marcy. Mary. Marcy's also dead, but Mary. Why did I just try to X-Potion? Phoenix down. Please. Yeah. She hasn't law shifted, which I thought was a scripted thing. Okay, Marsh. Walk up slowly and speed break. Actually, how much damage will your normal attack do? 36? Yeah, just speed breaker. X-Potion yourself. I only have about 30 of those, but hopefully it'll be enough. Start moving her up, because she's going to be going into danger to deal with, grabbing, whatchamacallit, Mercy. Lance at the final boss. Get tiny amount of HP back. That gave him 34 XP, by the way. If we can survive... I mean, apparently that's really in question when they're star crossing again. But if we can survive, then we will just steadily catch up in level. Okay. So Dwight was the only one hit, and the only HP he lost was what he just drained off the final boss, which is fine. It's workable. Uh-oh. Are you kidding me right now? I'm really glad I hit her with the, really glad I hit her with the thingy. In the place and the time. Okay. Lady, I'm gonna need you to... What? Why, though? I mean, it missed, first off. Second off... You know what? I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna go Stabity again. Instead. I think that's the better move here. Bella leveled. Marsh, do the smart thing. You're at half health. Revive Marcy, because she's immune to lightning. And can blind. And will probably trigger a law shift. Mary? Just Phoenix down well, not Phoenix down. X-Potion yourself. And wiggle your way a little bit closer. This is the silliest way I have ever seen to do this final boss. Let's lance it again. That was way less than I had hoped for. I wish that worked. Funnily enough, that's one of the major... That's how Phoenix Downs kind of work in, whatchamacallit, Crisis Core Final Fantasy. Where the Phoenix Down is just a buff that automatically revives you when you die. Because you don't have party members in that game. You're just, you know, fighting solo. So it makes more sense then. Oh hey, and there's Sid, who's been completely useless the entire fight, despite technically taking up a party member slot. Would you please stop trying to lightning my white mage? I don't appreciate it. Alright, Bella. You're low value. Stab the boss. Wow, that's just rude of me. You're lower priority on the healing list. Stab the boss. There you go. Also, I fully imagine that the final boss is going to recover from their blindness here relatively soon. But I'm going to try and get a blind off on the other Marius. Yes! Got that one. Well, she still can't actually heal, so... I'm not gonna say anything about that one. I don't need to justify myself to all of you. In fact... I think that explains everything fully well enough. Hey, no problem. We're on the final boss, so, ask your questions while you can. Oh, is this a timed fight? One JPC is one job per character. So, every job in the game can only be used by a singular character in the party. So for example, we have a warrior. Nobody else can be a warrior in battle. And once they're on the job that they're selected for, they can't change away from it. Okay, I think that was just a little cutscene trigger from us hitting a certain HP threshold. Alright. 20% chance. Watch this completely destroy Toby and March again. Wow, okay. We got lucky misses. I'll take it. Oh boy. She still hasn't lost shifted, which is really weird. I honestly expected her to hit the lost shifts at some point, but she just hasn't. Yeah, I know, right? Well, Bella, you still can't... Okay, so how I handled that is characters can go on dispatch missions to get the abilities necessary for getting into advanced jobs. So, for example, our Dragoon over there was sent on a bunch of dispatch missions early in the game and got into Dragoon. And now that he is a Dragoon, he can't switch away. Once a character is in combat, they cannot switch their job. Oh boy. I think that might be a dead Bella. Yeah, that's a dead Bella. Okay, it's fine. Marcy! Can you get a blind on that one, please? 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 40% chance, but we've been really lucky. Let's see if we continue to be so. Nope. Let the boning commence. Also, Toby still hasn't gotten another turn since we revived him, which is a little bit annoying. He's one of our strongest physical attackers, and he would make this fight... Oh, there he is. He would make this fight a lot easier. I want to check something, just on the off chance. Nope. Cannot use downsize, sadly. Alright. 78 damage. I rolled to 81. And then Marsh. Alright, Dwight, last but not least. Funnily enough, I can do something a little cheeky here. Get 2 targets with a Bonga Cry. Alright, that Mattias is almost guaranteed going to Starcross. Yep. Good news is, they're still blind. Ow. Okay. At this stage of the game, it literally doesn't matter if you backseat or not, but I still generally prefer people don't. I'm playing this to have fun. If I wanted to min-max, I would have farmed for a assassin and ninja on mission 1 or whatever. Yeah, just... if I wanted to make the game easy, I could. And I intentionally chose not to. Hey, Marcy. Execute a fool. Well, we just killed Mute's mom, in air quotes. And Mute immediately vanished. Also, it's snowing in the desert, which means that, yeah, the world's slowly going back to how it was. Yeah, it's kind of weird, though. Like, a little bit of a... I don't want to call it a plot hole, but something that they never really addressed outside of an Easter egg with the 3 bullies. Being zombies in a very early mission. What happened to everybody else in St. Evilly's? You know, it's a town of at least a few hundred people at minimum. And yet somehow only Mute, Ritz, and Marsh realistically remember until Sid's brought in or whatever. Like, heck, you have Babis, who is a personified teddy bear having a form of consciousness. So, what's going on with everybody else? Yeah, pretty much. It seems like, again, I don't want to call it a plot hole, but it's a point of... It's an unaddressed point that could have been very interesting. So, with that, the challenge is finished. And we finished it with not too many difficulties. Like, there were only 2 stumbling blocks, and that's only because I didn't plan for them. The first stumbling block was, of course, Babis himself. And the second stumbling block was the solo Marsh fight against Ledner. Honestly, both fights I could have very easily prepared for, but I didn't, and they ended up being a stumbling block. Whatever. My brain's shorting a little bit. You guys know how it is by now, more than likely. But yeah, we're just kind of stuck in cutscene heck for the rest of the game. Or, well, for the rest of the time here until the credits roll. Yeah, that is actually another very good point, because you have a bunch of names in the pool that are very normal names. You know, Toby, Dwight. It's entirely possible that they are just transformed members of Saint Evilise, or residents of Saint Evilise, rather. Also, Mute still looks absolutely stupid with that hairstyle. I'm sorry. It's like he's trying to have the little judge horns on the helmet, but as his hair, and it just, no. It doesn't work. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. So, the challenge is entirely doable. I don't know how to make it harder, honestly. Outside of introducing artificial difficulty with things like limiting debuffing characters, classes, whatever. And a lot of the difficulty in this game can be nullified simply by out-leveling it. Even with suboptimal job leveling, this game will still be relatively easy at the end. It's just kind of the nature of it. So, I don't know what we're doing after this, honestly. I'm still in the planning phase for the next major project on the channel. For those of you who are new, I do tend to bounce from game to game, and... it wouldn't be bad. I've been kind of craving tacos lately, but every place around town is overpriced as heck. But that's beside the point, and that's getting me distracted. I have considered going back to another Souls-like, especially with Stranger of Paradise being right around the corner. Real talk, I don't have the money for that. I don't think my computer can run it and stream it. So that one, if it ever happens, will be farther into the future after the hype has died down. And after the DLC is released. But one of the games on the table is the precursor to a lot of Stranger of Paradise's systems, which is Neo. I'm in the US. Oh. And I'm just completely ignoring everything going on screen at this stage. So, other things on the table, I don't really know. I don't want to do A2. A2 is a perfectly fine game, but it's a little too different. Ah! Oh. Oh, Stranger of Paradise. It's pretty much a Souls-like Final Fantasy. It's coming out, I want to say, next month. Maybe this month, actually. Holy crap, when is that? That's nothing new. Okay, it really looks weird seeing Ritz with white hair. I know it's her natural color and everything, but... Oh, hey! And it looks like They snuck in a Biggs and Wedge reference right at the end here with this random guy. So yeah, the challenge is entirely doable. It's not even particularly hard if you know the game reasonably well enough. And it's doable without most of the normal exploits. Even after I limited things like Totema usage to once per fight, I I'm not sure if that's a a copy and paste again, Otobon. I've said it twice now. Oh, okay. But yeah, Stranger of Paradise is a Final Fantasy Souls-like. I think it's coming out this month. That's on the table if my computer can run it and stream it, but probably only after the DLC's out and I've done extensive testing. I just don't have the money for it right now. Fair enough. But with that, the credits are rolling, and the challenge has technically come to an end. There is a bunch of post-game stuff, a lot of special recruitable units, which the fact that they're post-game kind of nullifies the original... How do I put it? Nullifies the original limits I put on their usage. So we don't even have access to Babas, Ritz, and Shara until post-game, which means there's no point even including them in the rules, because Ezel's the only one who was available before the final fight. But yeah, it was nice revisiting this game. It really was. So, other potential projects. I have been considering going back to some of the older Let's Plays and quote-unquote remastering. Castlevania Aria of Sorrow is one of the first on the list for that, if I were to do it. One, because I already have everything basically set up here and now for it. Two, because it recently got re-released on the Advanced Collection, and while I'd probably still be playing the GBA version emulated, because screw paying another $20 for games I already own in physical format. Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there. I feel like it's just going to run a little bit smoother if I emulate it compared to grabbing the Advanced Collection. Other than that, I kind of want to poke into some of the MMOs I've been playing and kind of stream them for you guys and maybe lure some poor, unsuspecting fools into playing them themselves. Like, Guild Wars 2's on the list for that. Dungeons & Dragons Online is on the list for that, though that one's really not free-to-play friendly. I mean, it is and it isn't. DDO is very weird in that they give out a lot of the older content regularly, but you have to be playing during the period it's available or you're just basically locked out. So they did recently release all the Player's Handbook stuff, so things like Dragonborn, Tiefling, and other races and classes that are on the 5e handbook got released for free. Still, I haven't even actually finished up a character on that game, so I'm not sure if I'm willing to commit my time especially if the end game for it is very unfriendly to solo players. Oh, oh, it autosaves. Okay. But back on topic. Let's take a glance at how post-game is. Also, our save file now has a little star next to it. There you go. I'm pretty sure if you re-click on Ambervale, you will just go back into the final boss again. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. I just got here, guys. Okay, good. So step one, let's get back to town, and a bunch of new missions should be available now. Yep, Mortal Snow is one of them, I want to say. On stream, yes. Oh. I'm pretty sure this is a lead-in to Babis's recruitment. And can we send any of the noob squad here? No, doesn't look like it. Let's put Brish on it since he's already... Yeah, I already know about the super boss, but we're not realistically going to get there. There's too many restrictions on missions. It's just going to take too much effort to get all 300 missions done on stream. While keeping to the challenge restrictions, that is. Oop. Crusade Alloy Gun Gear. Yeah, still don't have Crusade Alloy because that hasn't spawned. Ancient Bills. Oh, I can send somebody on this. Can I send any of the low-level idiots on this? Henri looks like he's... Oh. Possible, but I need to switch his weapon. He's supposed to be our sage, but he just hasn't. Thank you. I actually would have forgotten about that. Okay, he's on guard staff now. In fact, let's do that now. New adventure. Expert missions kept secret up until now. Oh boy. Oh, and it looks like the Clan Borzoi boss has escaped, so now we gotta... What the... Yep. Thanks for dropping by, Squallas. Wait. Red Wings. That's... Final Fantasy 4, I want to say? Okay, also these are just chaining into 5 billion 5 billion little sub rumors. It's kind of getting silly. Foreign band of criminals. Oh joy. There's nothing else on the list. Alright. We do have a claim for Yagdorsa. Not gonna bother with that right now. Ogma Seal. Huh. How long do we have for this? Infinite? Just take it. I imagine Mortal Snow is going to be another infinite as well. Yeah. Oh, that turned into a cutscene. Oh, this is Ritz's recruitment mission, it looks like. Alright. Kind of weird that this one turns into a cutscene right after we took the mission. It's not something they usually do. Berserk target area stop. I think we can pull that one off pretty easily. I also kind of want to cycle days. It's fine. Oh. Wait a tick. I wonder. So, as it turns out, the bullies from that were zombies in the very early portion of the game are now back as vampires. Don't ask me how that works. They're also shockingly low level. Either our clan average is just really low, or they haven't adjusted. Can't use target area on this fight, so... Well, that's all we have access to, in fact. Okay. The Ritz here does have all of her gear back that we stole. She also only has access to fencer abilities, it looks like. Though she does have a fair few. Alright, no worries. Alright. Okay, this is a bit of a weird one because I can't get green up there. Fortunately, I can silence from a distance because gunner abilities ignore the terrain screwery. Okay, Marcy's good to go. Aim arm? 40% on disable. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Ritz got a massive downgrade moving in. Or move for a recruitable version. Excuse me? Well, that's rude. I mean, the only saving grace here is if I can get anybody close enough, I can smack them with Phoenix Downs and just kill them that way. Yeah, I still can't get the one in the back, sadly. Okay, didn't get a blind on him. And it looks like I still won't be able to get a disable on the guy in the far back. Let's put some damage on this one instead. I want to keep them somewhat even so we don't run into issues with them... How do I put it? Don't run into issues with them reviving while we're trying to kill the other two. He's silenced. That That doesn't count as a spell? Oh, that's a dead Ritz. Good news, I didn't have to keep her alive. And I'm not even gonna bother reviving her. Wait, I think stop is banned. Okay, hit a blind instead. Go. Oh wow, Breen only got 1 XP from that hit. I just noticed. Kinda over-leveled for this one. Which is weird because the final boss was level 38. Wait. Better plan. Get back here. Aim arm. 60% disable, let's go. And of course the other one no longer is disabled the second I finish disabling the other one. Gotta love it. Oh, he's ribboned. That explains a bit. Man, ribbon units are a silly system because it only makes the laws... It only makes the laws really affect the player and not the enemy. Oh cool, and now Marsh is gonna get zombified. Oh, considering I'm not using a healer in this fight, it doesn't really matter now, does it? Alright. Two are blinded. And Marcy's up. So honestly... 95% chance to have this guy's life. Well, close enough to half. Okay. Man, we're already almost at 2 hours with the stream, and it feels like it's already been 3.5. Apparently I'm not doing too well today, for a variety of reasons. Will you please stop smacking Marsh? Wow. Kinda surprised he was even able to, considering the blind, but whatever works, I guess. Wow, Phoenix down only dealing... Oh, I think it acts as a demi. That's why. Now that I think about it, will fire damage deal more to these guys? No. No, it won't. Good to know. Move Marsh up and put some damage on this one. Again, just trying to keep them relatively balanced. It wouldn't be as much of an issue if things like burial actually worked as they were, worked as their tooltip or described. But instead, they have some weird calculation that depends on how many units you've already killed with that character. It's really silly. Okay. Let's see. Blind shot the third. Well, didn't get the blind, but we certainly got a decent chunk of damage on him. I'll take it. Oh no, now we're going to have a zombified Moogle. It actually sounds incredibly horrifying now that I think about it. Ugh. Alright, Marsh. Finish off the 47 HP one if you would. Okay. One left. That's 7 HP at that. I need to be smart and not use a terrain-based attack. Yes, so Breen, Fire Shot, so we avoid the terrain BS. And there we go. Oh. Apparently Ritz recognized those three even though they were vampires and originally zombies. That's interesting. Oh, apparently they were throwing snowballs at passersby or whatever. They're vampires. Why would they even do that? They were. Lyle's bunch. Oh, and here we go. We now have the official recruitment for Ritz. She starts at level 27 with a decent set of gear and a number of useful abilities, though not Nighthawk, which is one we definitely take if we could. She also has block arrows from Archer, but I'd probably follow the challenge rules still and take that off of her because it's a cross-class ability. She somehow lost all of her elementalist stuff during the recruitment process, though, so... Plan full, this unit cannot join. Oops. There'll be a way to get her again anyways. You're not completely locked out of the special units. You're not locked out of the special units even if you don't recruit them in their initial mission. In fact, if we go back to Bag of Reports, I believe... maybe not. I want to say a mission will pop up and they'll be able to join that way. Also, all of our units are currently unable to take this mission. I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, the only two who can do anything are Ezel and Kivit. That's weird. Alright. I'm gonna cycle the days for a bit. Yeah, I know, right? Alright, let's double check Muscadet. See if anything new's popped up. Mage Tourney for a song. Nothing new, it looks like. Yeah, we've already done the Mage Tourney once. It's not really a Mage Tourney because it's color magic only. So things like Elementalists are completely locked out. It's just kind of silly. Okay. That was mission 1 for... mission 1 for what's-his-name's recruitment. Babas's recruitment. I'm going to do some preparation, and unfortunately, now that we're in post-game, we are going to need to get rid of some people. One of those is sadly going to be Sabatini. He's been useless for a while, and even though he's borderline mastered, Beastmaster just does not play well at endgame. So Sabatini is getting the boot. The only reason I'm keeping Johannes for now, in comparison, is because of Frog Song. That is the only reason. Other unit on the chopping block, I've mentioned this for a while, Luon's getting the boot as well. Marcy is better in just about every way and survived the final boss. So, boop. Screw you too, Luon. We do have the new recruits in progress, but none of them are going to be really ready for a good while. Okay. Check the pub. Actually, check rumors while I'm at it. Yeah. Nothing new on rumors. Check missions. Okay, Metal Hunt is up. I need to double check... Okay, Sharon's at 30. She needs 2 abilities. Alcest is much closer, so I think I'll send him. And now we're kind of back to cycling days for a little bit. Yeah, Goringwood was taken. Don't care. Oh. Hi, Babas. And now Doned and Babas meet, and this should not have been allowed to happen. But yeah, it's kind of weird. There's not been any... Like, nothing has been said to address the fact that postgame even exists. Like, there's mention of the fact that Mute is no longer in this version of Evil East, but Marsh and Doned and even Ritz somehow still are. It's kind of weird. Oh. Looks like we're getting recruited for a new mission in Ambervale. And this will be Babas's recruitment mission. But yeah, that spawns a new mission in Ambervale. I'd assume it's... Oh no, I think I know what it is. And I hope I'm wrong. Because I don't want to do the final boss again. Okay, let's double check missions again real fast. Yep. Just double checking other things real fast. Doesn't look like any new missions are... Wait. Can I send anybody useful on these? No, those are 10 enemy dispatches. That's not gonna happen for a while. Ace Blades Berserk. Probably the best lineup we could have managed. Okay, and there's the Rat Tail, which we needed for about half the game. Huh. And a White Mage recruit, which we'll be leaving behind, unfortunately. I do need to get a Red Mage, or a Blue Mage put together at some point. I needed them for about half the game, but it's just gonna be a pain. Okay, Ace Blades Berserk. I kind of remember this one being a pain. Oh, hi! Yeah, no kidding. Uh-oh. Uh-oh times 2. So, looks like we have a rematch with Remedy here. He once again doesn't have any innate abilities. However, she is bringing along two new units with her. In this case, an Ariman who has roulette. You know, the one that auto kills whoever it hits. Let's see if the other one has it too. Okay, no, that one does not. So, who do I want to bring for this? She's only level 24. So I can kind of get away with putting some AP on people. Yeah, Dave could use some AP. We'll bring him along. I think Bella needs some too. Yep. And that's our limited 4 units. I'm reasonably confident in our chances, so I'm not even going to bother quick saving. Also, just immediate turn 1. Oh, she's immune to poison this time. Neat. Why did I cancel the move? Okay, try Thunder. 36 damage Thunder. Why not? We're gonna have a lot of HP to cut through here. Just 100% honesty. Yeah, I really don't get why they're softening the hit for this version of the fight when the final boss was level 38. I don't know why they went back to average level scaling for this, because I'm pretty sure that's why she's so low now. Oh, she has Holy Absorb. That's good to know. Uh, 74 damage Holy on that guy who can use Roulette. That seems like a good plan. Nice. And Babas is going to use... Oh, never mind. No, he's not. I had hoped that Babas would cast Explosion, but he just decided not to. Darn it. Alright, let's let Remedy get down here. She's gonna take a bit. Please die. Thank you. Alright, so that's one ad down. And the other one just decided to crit Babas. That's real nice. Alright, I have a 3-tile range with him. I should be able to get an arrow cast. Wow, he's only dealing 34 damage with his spells. And he's also missing again. That's real nice. Please cast Explosion. Please. It's a 0% chance, Babas. Why are you... Nice. Way to waste your MP. Idiot. And that's a one-shot on Babas. Okay, again, the only real saving grace we have is the simple fact that Remedy does not have any abilities. It's just a straight shot with her. Okay, and Marsh can relatively safely tank the blue eye here. Dave? Wow. I'm kind of sad because Dave's Staff Bonk is now doing less than his spells. It feels like a betrayal of all he used to be capable of. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dave! That was a lot of damage on Dave. I do mean a lot of damage. If we could get Marsh up there, he could probably tank her fairly safely, but... see if that happens. Yeah, next turn for Dave, I need to get him the heck out of dodge. Uh-oh. Assuming he doesn't get one shot by this eyeball. Oh, he still has the angel ring. Why am I worried? There we go. Actually, this doesn't even take him out of one-shot territory, now that I think about it. Yep, That's a dead Dave. That's a super dead Dave. She even crit him. Ugh. Wait, is Marsh, the dedicated physical unit, dealing less damage with his hits than the Red Mage? The hybrid unit. That feels a bit wrong, for a variety of reasons. You're not wrong. I still don't have access to any... Yeah, I can't use debuffs on her, so... Blizzard it is. And I am currently just kind of falling asleep at my desk here. Oh, come on! Bye, Dave. A joke so nice she decapitated him twice. I'm going to laugh if I fail this mission simply because I decide not to take a dedicated physical unit in. Or a dedicated physical damage unit, I should say. Because Soldier is closer to a tank. Well, that's mission clear. Oh. As it turns out, Babis is not Mute's teddy bear? I mean, then again, it's weird. But with this, we have access to Babis, who is our second special unit. Similar to Ezel, he does not have, he has a special job which does not have any, or he cannot change away from it. It has a number of Time Mage abilities, including, as well as Counter, Weapon Defense Plus, and then his signature, Explode. His stats are shockingly well balanced. I think he uses the Sage level up tree. But yeah, so 344 weapon attack, 319 magic power, decent amount of MP to fuel casting explosions. We're gonna recruit him. That's why I freed up a slot. And with that, we obtain the stuffed bear. And Marshmaster's mug, which may be his final ability. Hold on. Yep. It took us to post-game, but Marsh finally mastered Soldier. Okay, with that, let's get him on a weapon that's actually going to deal some damage. 357, 354. Yeah, Warbreaker's it. Okay. And now we're kind of borked because we just have them sitting there. So I'm going to quickly save, and I guess we'll do this clan fight. Okay, target area is still banned, which is a bit iffy. But yeah, like I was saying, cannot change his job. Babas and Ezel are both locked into their unique jobs. Do we have access to a better... Yeah, we can put him on Vesper, which will do a little bit more damage for him. Sadly, the Zeus Mace isn't better. Armor. I don't think I have access to anything that's going to increase his stats as much as I need them there. We'll just keep him on a Mirage Vest. Aegis Shield is fine, so we'll put him on a headband for extra physical damage, and Dash Boots removed. There we go. Babas is equipped. So now that I think about it, I don't think I'm going to take them into this one. I am, however, going to bring Rosaline. Kamal? Kamal's dragging our average level down, so I should, but I'm going to regret it. We'll bring Brish. Oh, never mind. Can't bring Brish because anti-blade. Lex. I haven't taken him out in a while. We have 3 more slots. Obi, Dwight, and Betty have all mastered theirs. Kind of weird. We're kind of running out of units who need abilities. Screw it. We'll bring Babas and Ezel just to show them off. And then that leaves... Who needs AP? I think Dave still needs... Yeah. Dave can use 40 AP even if he can't actively use his spells in this fight. There we go. And we shouldn't run into an issue with the guy in the back there, because while he is physical resistant, we do have single target magic damage that we can use. Weird idea. Okay, immobilize the Antlion. Wait, is it haste blades? What's the limit again? Blades berserk target area. Okay. Well, Kamal, this is your last chance. If you do not successfully haste the team, I am benching you permanently. He hasted the enemy again. I mean, he got 20 XP for it, but he hasted the enemy again. Alright. Wow, we have a lot of bots sitting in the chat right now. Holy crap! I look at the viewer list. Ugh. Why are they even here? I'm not doing anything interesting. Or, well, anything that would require that much attention drawn, rather. I don't know. Wait, flame, shining air. Fire whip's the disable, I think? It is! It's also single target. Okay, I'll call you by your official title, a failed DARPA AI project. There, are you happy? No, it's fine. Like, you don't have to... I'm not asking for chat. I'm asking for... Well, I'm asking why there are so many bots in the viewer list. Hold on. Explode a single target, or is it an AoE? It's an AoE, I can't use it, darn it. Okay, get up. I'll waste a potion getting Lex back to standing. And now for the fun part. Hey, Kamal. This is how you actually target an entire enemy team. Two, 3, 4, 5. The entire enemy team just got put to sleep. I mean, funnily enough, he's set up as a tank. It's not rude because that is his role. He is set up to be a magical tank. Also, we're using a fire katana, so I can't have Lex attack the bomb. What? I woke him? He was asleep. I woke him up and he immediately got his reaction command. That's kind of weird, actually. That is a beefy 80 damage counter. Not gonna lie. Alright, take 2, Red Spring. Let's go. Okay, Kamal, not really, but kind of redeemed himself. Dave! Dave, you still can't target an area, so... bonk this guy. Okay, we're gonna leave the blade guy asleep for a little bit. Darn it. Missed the counter. I kind of have an idea. Let's see how much damage this will actually do. Only 54. That's a bit concerning. Did it get the disable instead? It did. Okay. And once again, Red Spring, just because we're trying to get XP on Kamal. Oh cool, it actually hit our team again. I'll take it. So now, holy... It would seem that Ezel has some pretty sturdy blocks as well. Because he just hit for 105. Or of all things holy. I have an idea. Okay, this is only 18 damage. Never mind. Bad idea. Let's chuck a Gale Sword, I guess. 67 damage. That's a little bit better. Okay, it upscaled to 71. I'll take it. Dave still can't actually hit anything useful with this, so... Better idea, take one step forward and put an X Potion on Babbitt because he's gonna need it. And once again, just hit the Rock Biter with a debuff. Come on, Pandora. Keep earning that XP, buddy. Alright, the Rock Biter is no longer hasted. And now... Abyss! Smack-a-fool. Okay. Wait, do we still have an ant lying down? Oh, we do still have an ant lying down there that needs killing. Oops. Let's just chuck a Gale Sword at him. Alright, Ezel, I'm curious. 31 damage through the Rock Biter's physical defenses. That's a bit ridiculous. Here's a comparison. How much does Dave do? 9. Oh, I left Flex's back open. Oops. That stings a little. Okay. Now he's pulled 3 red springs back to, or 3 or 4 buffs to the team back to back. It's kind of odd how this is working. Okay, Fire Whip on the Rock Biter again for more damage. Abyss. How much damage do you do to this guy? 42. He has a weaker weapon, but he somehow did more damage to the Rock Biter with a physical attack than Ezel. Oh boy. Lex might be dead. Never mind, he dodged. We're good. So the real benefit to a Red Spring hitting our team is that Kamal is getting 24 XP a pop because he's so low level compared to everybody else. But yeah, with each hit, he's dragging up the team average, or with each level, he's now pulling the team average up bit by bit. And just to wrap things up, there we go. Okay, Dave mastered Dispel, Kamal mastered Red Spring, and Rosaline has Absorb MP. A lot of abilities just got wrapped up. First off, Dave! Okay, you have Arrow, Kira, Dispel. I don't think he has Water. No, he has Barrier. He needs Judge. And he has Holy. So, Spring Staff for Water next, I believe. You're not wrong. Okay. Oh, she didn't even have her hat on the entire fight. Hold on. Yeah, that's Illusionist and Time Mage for the other two, so that's fine. I think putting her on the silver coat will work well enough for now. And then Kamal mastered Red Spring, so he's onto a new weapon. Well, with that, you functionally got a Mystic Knight. Which basically uses, well, which uses Spell Blades, where it just channels the magic into a Sword Strike. Or if you want the pseudo-updated version of that class, look at Rune Fencer from Final Fantasy XI. Alright. So we still haven't even gotten a single mission for the Zodiac War that we need to get Crusite. I don't know why that one's been so weird. Yikes, dispatch enemies 15. Ow. That is a distinct lack of people who can take this mission. Heck, Ezel is the only one who can even potentially attempt it. Except for maybe Kivin, I think. Okay, I'll send him out for 15 enemies. Oh hey, there's the Blood Apple. Welcome to post-game, where your chances of completing missions with anything short of a level 30 is next to nil. Yep, nobody I have can pull that one off. Yikes, and enemy's 15 for a red mage, and she can't pull it off. Okay. What do we have active mission-wise right now? Because... just Metal Hunt? Yeesh. Oh hey, new unit. Gustav the Archer. No. Okay, just going to go and check missions in each location. We have that mission to fight the World Worm, or whatever it's called. Oh, Cadoan Watch. Wait, this looks like a really low-level mission. Why did this never spawn? Healing color magic damage to animal. Uh-oh. Yeah, bomb infestation, so I need damage to animal gone at least. Summon skills hunt. I think I can pull that off. Alright, Godot and Watch. Let's see how bad this is. Well, that's immediately 5 bombs in my face. Yeah, level 10s and 11s. The highest level in this mission is 14. Something's weird with the mission spawning in this game. I can't tell you exactly what. Alright, who needs AP? Chaucer needs more for Blizzaga, so we'll take him. Mary's already mastered, so we don't need to take her. Marcy's got everything I care about on her. Dave just switched weapons, so I can always take him. In fact, Dave got water, so that might work. Bella always needs AP because she's got a lot of abilities that she still needs to work on. Lex. Yep, Lex is still working on Fire Veil, so why not? And this time I can bring Brish, so that'll give him a little bit more towards Malgarush. Which just leaves... well, I guess we take Rosaline. Kind of because the choices are Kamal or Rosaline, and I think Rosaline is probably the better of the two. Okay. And Lex immediately goes first. Oh, I can't use skills, so he's stuck to melee only for this one. Oh. Well, that's silly. Okay. The height difference means I can only target one of these at a time. And that was a miss. Dave. Wow, he's not even gonna one-shot. Missed! Against enemies that are 10 levels below us. The game is just telling me to just stop at this point. That's 3 misses back to back. Oh my. This is just getting silly. Oh, not Fire Raga. Blizzaga. Oh, and for some reason that'll target both. Alright, Chaucer, just please. 5 failed coin flips in a row. I just want that to sink in. Can we make it 6? Okay, not 6 failed coin flips in a row. Ugh. Oh wow. 1 damage. Amazing. That bomb got 38 experience from attacking Chaucer. I think we were supposed to get this mission way earlier in the game and it just never spawned for whatever reason. So, yeah, here we are. I still can't do anything with Lex because he has to get in range. Okay, do the smart thing this time and get behind this group. Cast Blizzard. As long as it hits, both of these will die. Alright. 2 enemies left. Downcast water on that one. And 1 target. Which I don't think any of these guys can get to right now. Which is fine. Okay, Chaucer... Yep, Chaucer has a line. And there's that mission done in 1 go. I don't know what to tell you guys. Fellow mastered magic power. And we hit clan level 53. Alright. So with Bella having magic power plus done, what else do we have access to with her? We could learn sleep. Poison we have. You know, I think we have just about everything else I care for. Nah, we'll learn barrier just to make things faster. I don't want her stuck with double cast for like 200 battles and not being able to use it. But I still have other things I can learn. Alright. Shoot. Did somebody else learn anything, or was it just... I think it was just her. Break the pop again. Boning meat we've already done. I think I know what this one is. Man, the noob squad is being able to do less and less, and it's kind of annoying. Alright, let's just send Babas. Full of Ghosts. Battles 2, Fire Sigil. Oh, Gibbet can do it. I'm just gonna send Gibbet. Because he's fairly reliable. Alright, let's check other towns for missions real fast. We are kind of out of time on the stream. We only have about 14 minutes left, which isn't really terribly long to do anything. Ah. And I guess just finish cycling the days. And there it is. That should spark a new mission when we get into town. Which did not spark. Okay. I guess it's gonna be back at Cadillon? Who knows? Oh, never mind. Once we end up in Muscadet, Shara shows up. It was Shara. So apparently Shara really doesn't like bugs, and she was in a cave full of them. So she was screaming her head off to the point that someone put up a mission request to go help her. Oh, a singular bug fell on her. Never mind. an antlion larva on her head. I mean... Wait, do we not have a combat mission for this? Do we still... do we just get her directly? Holy crap, we do! Also, I just noticed that the text is going really weird with the name for 7th Heaven. I don't know if you guys can see it as clearly as I can, but it's going weird. But yeah, lo and behold, Shara is our sniper. And she comes at level 27. Which also means that I now have to completely just chuck the person I was playing to put into sniper out the window. Oops. But yeah, Shara has a bunch of abilities pre-mastered, just like Ritz does. And, yeah. So, it's kind of funny, because the unit who we were going to turn into a sniper was named Sharon. So we're tossing Sharon for Shara. Oops. Bye, Sharon. Alright. So like I said, she has a bunch of stuff pre-mastered, but she still has a bunch of stuff that she can learn. Namely, one of the very early abilities, Double Shot, which is literally 2 shots back to back. That's it. It's nothing too terribly fancy, it's just doink and then doink. I need to see if there's any support abilities. We already have auto regen. Is there nothing else? Nope, doesn't look like it. I think I'll just keep her on her default gear in that case. And give her dash boots. Dash boots and gauntlets. She already has a ribbon pre-set up, so there she is. Fully functional sniper right out of the box. Now, let's see if anything else has popped up in the meantime. On the waves, we still don't have a time mage for that one. Oh yeah, I forgot that we can send people out on this. Also, if you pull this off, you're done with your training phase, and we can actually use you. So let's cycle 15 days, I guess. You know, waste more time at the end of the stream. Oh. I actually need to not go there because that clan could potentially try and gank us. There we go. Ah, he spawned 2 feet closer. Okay. Run back towards this way. Just keep close to all the towns. Come on. And he failed. Darn it. Alright, let's see if Metal Hunt popped back up. Yep, it did. Okay. Alcest. Finish off Metal Hunt. That'll be your last 30 AP to finish your second ability, and then unlock your new stuff. Oh. Let's see. Henri is the only other person who actually still needs to get into their advanced job, so there's that. And we've already done Chocobo help a few times, so that should be fine. Oh! We have a mission to dispatch a Mognite for 2 battles. Don't mind if I do. And with that... I think we're done for now. It's been fun poking into some of the post-game stuff. It's nice that a few missions finally spawned. But I don't think I can drag this out any longer. I know the schedule for the rest of the week, the slide at least says that we were supposed to be doing Tactics Advanced for the rest of the week. However, I think I'm going to do a different filler game for the remaining 2 days while I prep for the next major project, which will be Monday of next week. What game will that be, you may ask? Well, I'm going to entertain the idea of potentially remastering an old Let's Play. Or at least replaying a game from an old Let's Play. And we're going to take a look at Castlevania Aria of Sorrow again. So without further ado, until next time everyone, take it easy. This is Rain, signing off.